Alright, what's going on, you guys? It's Gas, and today we're reacting to Omizi's video, The Internet Isn't Buying Kai Cenat's New Gimmick. So let's see what this is all about.
Word that's been circulating around the internet that is honestly grinding the hell out of my gears every time I see it. Performative.
I hate people.
Nah, no funny. This is the word I hear for every little thing now. Everything is performative. Nothing is genuine online anymore. It's like when the internet learns a new word, a new like anything, everybody and their mother online uses it. It's like a hive mind. It's like that's the new thing. You know what I mean? Like I remember when crashing out was the thing and everybody is like, I'm about to crash out. Oh, I'm crashing out. Oh, he's crashing out. Like everybody just uses that new phrase. You know what I mean? So it's like nothing is genuine. It's just everything is like, oh yeah, that's the word. That's the hot topic word for right now. You know what I mean?
Who have a performative personality.
It's getting really hard to say that Kai Cenat isn't performative.
It feels performative.
If you a performative baddie,
And he's so performative, this.
Performative.
Yeah, it's that.
Every
It's
time
that
I
hive
hear
mind.
that word, it makes me want to rip out my hair. Because
Word.
at some point, you guys are being performative about the word performative. If
Word.
you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Go subscribe
It
to
goes a
Omizi.
long way for us unemployed, and it warms my heart very much so. Now, back into the video. Now, the wave of everything performative started off with the performative male epidemic, which I'll get into a little bit.
I remember that. I think that whole epidemic thing of the performative male was about like dudes going to parks, reading books, right? And doing things like that to make themselves look good for girls and all that kind of stuff. So like if they're out in a group and they all got like books and they all dressed up and they look kind of nerdy with the glasses and all that, what's it called? The girls will more likely go up to them and be like, oh, what are you reading? Which, you know, could possibly, you know, get them girls and all that. That's why they were doing it. But, you know, in reality, they don't really care about that shit.
Later into the video. I didn't mind people criticizing that stuff, but
Yeah, you see the books?
now we have reached its peak. Just last week, I believe Kai Cenat revealed that he was on this journey to a new self, new content creation, and he's going down these new endeavors that don't align with his normal streaming and content creation path.
And that's the thing. People want to put you in a box so bad. You know what I mean? So it's like if you're a streamer, they don't want you to do nothing else but be just a streamer. If you're a musician, they don't want you to do nothing else but be a musician. It's like what you are known for, they want you to just stay there. But that's not how people work. What's it called? The same things that you're interested in right now, you might want to try something new next week. You know what I mean? That's like, think about Lil Wayne. What's it called? He's a rapper. But then he wanted to skateboard. He had his little skateboard era. But if you look at him at that time, you'd probably be like, nigga, why you want to skateboard? You know what I mean? You rap. Or he wanted to, you know, play a guitar. They'd be like, why you want to play a guitar? You rap, you know, and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's like, let people enjoy things. Let people try to do something new. You know what I mean? And show it to the world. You don't have to just be that one thing. That's crab in the barrel mentality. They don't want you to change.
He's going into fashion. He's working out. He's reading aloud daily, amongst other things. And you would think that this self-improvement would be received well, but for doing all these things, Kai Cenat is getting booed to smithereens.
There's
Wicked.
no way y'all about to hop on this app and try to make people feel bad because we making fun of Kai Cenat because he can't read. The nigga is 24 years old and he don't know how to fucking read. He was admitted to a university. He went to college and dropped out.
This is hating low key. But even with that, it's like, y'all know a lot of people in your lives right now that they could read and all that, but if they have to read out loud, they doing it on like a first grade level. Grown men. You know what I mean? It is what it is. A lot of people don't read out loud, and when they do, it's like they haven't, you could tell they haven't practiced it, you know? And it's just like, let people try to evolve also, because it's like I see that he's getting a lot of hate for this. Like, I'm not trying to be like the #1 defender and all that kind of stuff, because like, you know, I'm really not. You know what I mean? But it's just like, let people change, let people do things, let people try things. You have one life and you just got to do that one thing that people know you for the rest of your life. Like, come on.
And the nigga don't know how to fucking read, dog. That's hilarious. Y'all are not about to make niggas feel bad for this shit. He's the one who set up the camera. We're not in Kai's business. That nigga showing us all his business. If he was really working on bettering himself, he would do that shit off cam.
But that's not also true because his whole life is on the camera. The man records everything. He's a streamer. So if even the more embarrassing parts of his life that's online for people to judge, why wouldn't the growth is hard? So it's like, why wouldn't he put that out there also?
Man,
Crazy.
he want clicks and views. He wants y'all to see him looking like a fucking idiot on the internet. He talking about some, oh, I don't care what people think about me. Bro, you being performative as fuck right now.
You was not in them girl streets, man. What clothes did for you, bruh? Nah, bro, I gotta say something, cause clothes really done did some shit for me, nigga. Clothes really done did some shit for me, bruh. What clothes done did for you, bro?
That shit crazy.
What? Clothes ain't... Yo, bro, nah, bro, don't get me started. Don't get me started. Yo, because sometimes it was between the $36 DoorDash meal or the number nine Mickey. You feel me?
But it's like, what is the alternative here that y'all want? Y'all want him to be like, oh, never mind, I'm gonna give up and I'm gonna just go right back to streaming. And then y'all gonna look at him like, okay, you're a quitter and now I don't believe anything that you say or anything that you want to do for the rest of your life because you gave up so easy. You let people talk you out of something that you want to do. What's it called? That's the thing here. It's either you do it and people make fun of you, or you don't do it and people make fun of you. It's a lose-lose situation.
I don't know.
I didn't eat, nigga. I ain't eat for some of these pieces I got in my house, nigga. I ain't eat.
I want to start off by first defining what the word performative means. Done or expressed insecurely or inauthentically, typically with the intention of impressing others or improving one's own image. And this is the biggest problem that I have with the criticism of everybody labeling anything and everything performative. Specifically from a social media personality, when do you believe that something is genuine or not genuine?
No, that's real. Because, like, he's a streamer. You think these streamers are genuine? You know what I mean? When these streamers talk to each other and they start screaming and they start, just getting upset, or they see a bad bitch and they start, Gah! And all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? You think that's genuine? You think that's how they would really act if there was no cameras on? You know what I mean? Like, if they had no money and there's no cameras on, they round bad bitches. What's it called? They see their ass. They're going to start screaming? You think that's genuine? No, that's performative. So with the idea of performative, it's like, with this kind of stuff, and he's trying to better himself, there's always going to be someone impressed. Like, you could look at it and think it's corny, but there's going to be some kid out there that's like, wow, I look up to Kai Cenat and what he's doing. And I see, instead of him streaming and screaming and all that kind of stuff, because that he had his influence on that, which is why there's so much people that do that kind of stuff now. You know what I mean? What's it called? So it's like, he wants to start reading now and read out loud and get better at that. There's some impressionable kid out there that's going to be like, okay, I see you trying to change like that. That looks pretty cool. I want to try reading more. You see him working out. I want to try working out. You see him following his dreams into fashion. You know what I mean? Some impressionable kid out there, what's it called, could be like, I want to look more into that also to see how hard it is. Maybe that's something I want to do with my life. You know what I mean? Because it's either you're performative with the regular streaming shit, because none of that shit is real. I really believe that all of that shit is fake. Although those people, I don't believe a lot of them even talk to each other on some friendship shit. I feel like it's just like, you're lit and I'm lit. Let's, collab and try to fuse our fan bases together. You know what I mean? If it's performative one way or another, at least this one is more positive and helps people improve themselves.
It's always done for the camera. It's always done in the eye of the public. It's always done for the audience to judge and criticize. We've seen Kai Cenat basically put his life on the internet for the past umpteen years now. So why is it surprising now that if he's going through a new endeavor or new journey that he wouldn't document it, he wouldn't film
That's true.
it, and he wouldn't post it for everybody to see? I had to listen to some of the gripes and grievances of people saying that what Kai Cenat is doing is performative, and some of it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Also, it's like, he gets pushback for this kind of change of like wanting to be a fashion dude and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's like, because you're like, oh, this is not what I know him for, right? What's it called? But like, correct me if I'm wrong, do like those other bigger names that try to do something else, do they get that kind of pushback also? Like, doesn't Mr. Beast have like on the friggin' Beast Burger? or the Feastables, the bar, that's his also, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. What does he know about food? He makes YouTube videos and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? He's not a cooking channel. You know, what is one of those Paul brothers that has Prime and KSI? What do they know about energy drinks and all that kind of stuff? So it's like, let people do things. That's how I just be looking at it. Like, I don't know. The idea of putting someone in a box is like, to me, it just comes off as like you graduate high school and it's years later and you're not the same person from high school. And they're like, and they see you and people from your high school see you later and they're like, man, that nigga's not actually like that. You haven't seen me in 10 years. What you mean? Yeah, I mean, you don't know me. You know that version of me. But people change.
Kai Cenat's personality and image will always come off as performative because he's pretending to be black. He has made it clear on his stream multiple times that Trinidadian and Haitian. He does not consider himself to be black. Matter of fact, I have never let my foot off of Kai's neck from when he said black people had no culture.
Damn,
but it's funny because he didn't build his platform wearing Trinidadian and Haitian clothing. He dresses like the niggas he has around. But mind you, he barely speaks either of the languages he comes from because he was born in New York. So even when he's up there struggling to speak Creole, that's a performance. Instead of using these parts of himself to create a personality, he instead wants to push an image of the coolest nigga ever. Which is why, even though he's never been an anime nigga, he tries to pretend that he is so bad. He spends so much time trying to be like his friends that, to be honest, I don't think there's nobody in there, y'all. That's really him. Accept him as he is.
So y'all know I gotta say my piece on this Kai Cenat thing. So Kai Cenat is getting into fashion, and you know he went on this hiatus, and he's coming back saying like, oh yeah, he wants to get into fashion, da 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 da. And the fashion community online ain't buying it. You know what I'm saying? They ain't getting behind it. And before you get in my comments and say, oh, why does it matter? Who cares? Da 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 da. I care. There's a lot of other people out there that do care about fashion, truly. And the thing is, we understand that there was a time when everybody didn't care about clothes. There was a time when it wasn't cool to care about clothes.
That sounds like some gatekeeping. I'm not gonna lie. What's it called? That's literally the anime people of like, you know, like, damn, y'all didn't get bullied for this. Y'all don't really like anime. Y'all favorite anime is Dragon Ball and Naruto. You don't know the niche shit. You know what I mean? If it wasn't on Toonami, you don't know what it is. You know, I got bullied for liking this, that, and the third. I got bullied, you know, so you don't really like it, you know, and all that. It sounds like gatekeeping.
And we recognize that that's going on right now. So it's like, yeah, of course, people can find the love for fashion, the passion for fashion, etc. But it's harder for us to accept because we know that that's what's popping right now. That's what's trending right now. That's why there's certain people, for me, for example, I'm one of them type people. I always say, let me see your throwbacks. Let me see your throwbacks. You want
see the throwbacks? That means, like I'm saying, nobody's allowed to change and evolve and like new things and get into something new. You know what I mean? If you wasn't like this, if you didn't like this in 2018, you shouldn't like it now. That's how they're basically saying. Not if you didn't shit on it. What's it called? If you just didn't like it or wasn't into it as much back then, you're not into it now. You know what I mean? People can't change. People can't like things.
I don't know why, because if you grew up caring about fashion, it was never about $1. You gonna make it work.
All these criticisms about Kai Cenat scream gatekeeping to me.
Word.
And I can understand the concept of gatekeeping, but then it opens up the door for me and others to ask, like, who are these gatekeepers? Who are these people who are judging him? And who are these people that are judging the performative males? Can someone always come along and say that something that somebody else is doing is performative if they hold a Throwback Thursday picture that dates earlier than the previous person in question? Is there some sort of test that needs to be taken, or is there some sort of criteria that needs to be met in order to not be considered performative? I don't know. It just seems like we're making up rules every single...
I ain't gonna lie. Do whatever you want to do. People are gonna judge you regardless. What's it called? They're gonna, like, nothing is gonna be cool to people until you actually make it. Then it's gonna be like, oh, how you did that? Like, tell me the blueprint, you know, this, that, and the third, because you actually grinded for it. So it's like, really do whatever you want to do, you know? Not even just with this fashion stuff, like anything that you want to do. This is your one life. Once you're in that coffin, people, like, nobody's opinion matters. You in that coffin for eternity. You know what I mean? Do whatever you want to do now. It doesn't matter what people say. Be proud of anything that you make. Period.
Today about what is and what is not performative. The person that was talking about Kai Cenat being into fashion. Look, I have no doubt about your fashion identity and stuff like that. I promise you, I'm not here to G-check you on who you are in the fashion space and how much you care about fashion. But if somebody in the fashion space came to you and said that you're not really into fashion simply due to the fact that you only mess with this type of designer, you don't extend yourself to this aisle, you don't venture into dresses and purses, you only care about male fashion, not about women fashion, and then you only care about fashion in one facet of culture, identity, race, etc., etc. You're not into Eastern fashion. You're not into, I don't know, the fashion identities in Europe and stuff like that. Would that be a fair criticism? Could they then be able to call you performative?
Nah, that's real. That's like being a cartoonist, right? You draw cartoons. And then someone is like, do you draw realism? No. What's it called? You're not really an artist. Yeah, I mean, do you draw manga? No. You're not really an artist. Do you like abstract? Do you make sculptures? You're not really an artist. Like, there's different lanes and all that kind of stuff. It's like, and honestly, if someone came up to that fashion dude and was like, oh, you only like street fashion, but you don't like this kind of fashion, what's it called? You're not really into that. And he's talking about how it's like his life. He's going to be thinking, you could eat meat. Like, straight up. What's it called? Because he knows who he is. He's not trying to hear from nobody else.
Lady that was saying that Kai Cenat is an amalgamation of his peers, I'm sorry. I didn't think that that was a crazy concept. Most people are in an amalgamation of their surroundings. Most people get the
you are your friends
bodies,
in some way, shape, or form.
Cool things, hot trends, etc., in order to make up their own personality. But now that's being classified as performative. Now, I get it if you have some sort of like thought process about him before seeing this new version of him, then I get why you would be so judgmental. Now, are you off basing your judgments? That's only for you to really decide. But to say that somebody is performative based off of them being a combination of like their peers and people and things that they grew up around just does not make sense to me.
Hey,
so you tell me you discovered everything that
hate comes quicker than love. Real talk. Hate comes quicker than love.
that you like about yourself and your life and everything like that on your own. You had no outside influences. It wasn't things that your peers were doing, listening to, watching, recommending, etc., etc. Hey, you're the first original person in the world, gang.
Hey, clap it up for them.
That thing is confusing me, cause like, where were you in 2017? Like, he's having his 13, 14-year-old phase in 2026. Like, did you not have a preteen phase? Like, you're listening to Frank Ocean, Blonde. He's like, bro, where were you during summer of 2016 if you wasn't listening to Blonde? And he's just now watching Naruto, and like, he's just trying to figure out how to read. Like,
one of the reasons
everybody got to move at their own pace. You can't judge people for stuff that you did before. What's it called? That you feel like you and the people around you got out your system and they do it now.
This is why I have an issue with the conversation about being performative is the fact that it almost makes it seem as though you can't experience something new. Well, I guess
that's
at least experience it new and document it. It makes it seem as though the stuff that you discovered when you were 10, 11, 12, 13 can never be discovered again when you're 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, late 20s, early 30s, late 40s. Like, you can never discover anything new. You must always stay in a lane or
and that's the thing also. As long as you're alive, you should always be trying to learn something. You should always be trying to evolve. You should be like 50 wanting to learn something new or do something new or, something, you know what I mean? The journey is not done. As long as your heart is beating and you can move and you're, in your right mind and all that kind of stuff, the journey's not done. Keep trying to learn something. Try to learn an instrument. Oh, you learn that instrument? Try to learn a different language. Do something new. The journey's not done as long as you're alive.
I think that's the criticism that the young man was giving when he said that Kai Cenat didn't have his teenage phase. And I'm gonna go ahead and say that's a sad existence to live in. If you feel as though you have to stay stagnant in your life and you can't ever express or explore anything, then I think that that is just not the best way to go. I think that's why the performative male epidemic popped off a couple of months ago. We saw men try different things that have never been done before, and ultimately it was seen as a negative in the space.
We are in a performative male epidemic. Look, I thought I was an expert on being a performative male. I had
They're trying to get girls
on repeat, International
do your
Women's Day
thing.
post. Happy International Women's Day, by the way. But no, you motherfuckers took it to a completely different level. There is no fucking way you guys are actually doing this shit. I refuse to believe your favorite drink is an iced strawberry matcha latte. Like, what the fuck? No.
I mean, even if it isn't, let them live, you know what I mean? Let them do their thing. That's you now, you know? Or that's the person they want to be. That's the person they want to portray. You know, it's your avatar. You do what you want. You post about what you want. It's not that bad. There are literally worse things you could be.
You're in a matcha store posting for the hoes listening to Billy Joel, bro. Like, you are capping. You are not being serious.
And that just feels silly to me. We challenge people to change on a daily basis. We challenge them to try and experience new things, new worlds, new cultures. Hell, we want people to grow because we think even some of the things that they participate in are toxic. So
like, even relate that back to music. Like, if you listen to some rappers, right, throughout their career, they get hit with the Baby or Blueface, for example. Throughout their career, they get hit with every song sounds the same. Why don't you switch it up? Every song sounds the same. Even though that's their style, that's how they rap. You know what I mean? And if they try to switch it up, for the most part, people are like, it doesn't sound as good. You know what I mean? Because it's like they want you in that one spot. They want you to change, but they don't actually want you to change.
Go through this whole spiel about toxic masculinity and how it can be detrimental to a bunch of different people. And when a select group of men decide to open their eyes to these different things, experience new ventures in life, step outside of, you know, the boxes or whatever the case may be, it gets flipped on top of his head and they're called performative. Now, don't get me wrong. I do believe that some people put on things for, you know, social clout. They want the tokens.
People are just liars in general. Because, like, even with the idea of dating and stuff like that, right? You see that dudes be faking it. They want to be the perfect person for the person that they're interested in. So they're going to be performative. Like, oh, she likes this. If I post this kind of song on my story, maybe she'll see it and that could spark a conversation. What's it called? Or she likes these kind of movies or this kind of stuff. Maybe if I, talk about these kind of things, which I'm not interested in, but she is, maybe it could spark a conversation and she could find me more interesting and, you know, this could lead to something and all that kind of stuff. People are frauds. They're liars in general. So it's like, let's not pick and choose who's a liar. You know what I mean? Especially if your lie is you trying to improve yourself in some way, shape, or form, and it's not hurting nobody.
They want to elevate their status. But most of the times in my experience, when I would quote unquote deem somebody as being performative, it usually follows after them having some sort of negative PR and they're trying to clean up their image. I'm thinking about Neon when he did his Breakfast Club interview.
Yeah,
and
but those are fake. They don't mean it. They just losing.
Like Aiden Ross and the rest of the collective. I'm thinking about Sneeko, who went down this whole Christianity Muslim arc that he went down, you know, this whole religious pathway, only to find himself right back next to the Myrons and the Andrew Tates of the world. Those are the type of people that I would say are
That's performative.
I usually use the word grifter, to be quite honest with you. But the way that we are just using this word makes everything feel performative. Anytime you want to try something new, it feels performative.
I don't really like clothes that much these days anyway. I don't like to dress up. I don't like to wear makeup. I don't like to do my hair. Nothing is fun. Everything feels fake and performative. I don't really get. Only interest these days is eating food.
So for me, I'm trying to punch the bag at my gym now, right? Because, you know, I got boxing gloves and all that. So they got the speed bag. I punched that for the first time and I felt stupid. Whenever you try something new, you're going to look at it like, man, what the hell am I doing? I look stupid as hell. You know what I mean? But it's like, everybody feels like you would call me performative for trying to do something new. But in reality, once I get it, you're not gonna be like, and I'm actually good at it. You're not gonna be like, what are you doing? What's it called? You're gonna be like, oh, okay, look at you. What's it called? You got it now. Let people learn something new.
I knew we were cooked as a society with this performative shit when I saw a picture scrolling down the timeline the other day of Meghan Trainor, singer-songwriter, doing a skin-to-skin with her surrogate baby. Now, even though this is none of our business, she decided to do surrogacy with her husband because she conferred with her doctor and they said it was the safest option in order for them to have another child. So then after the baby was born, she posted a photo of them going skin to skin, in which somebody quote tweeted that this feels performative.
These skin to skin pictures are so performative and fake. If you didn't birth a baby, it's not your baby. Yo, Twitter is full of haters. I ain't gonna lie. Niggas got time on Twitter.
What? We're using words we've never used before, and even the use of those words feels so performative.
Guys,
Hey, I'm gonna just stop the video right here. I'm passionate about this topic because, like, I feel like you only got one life, and you should really just do whatever you want. As long as it's not hurting anybody, do everything. If you want to be like, think about like a Childish Gambino that acts, does comedy, and what's it called, makes music, right? What's it called? Tell him to stay in one lane, right? You're not gonna, nobody talks about him and is like, stay in one lane. Think of Jamie Foxx, acts, makes music, does comedy. Nobody's telling him just stay in one lane. They want to try things. They want to do things. You know what I mean? And if it works out, cool. If it doesn't, you know what I mean? You fall back to whatever's the most popular. But you only have one life. Create what you want and see where it goes. Make those new experiences. And don't care about whatever other people are saying. Anyways, go follow Omeezy. You know what I mean? Linked to the original video is in the description. I'm going to catch y'all later. All right? Gas up.